Personal shopper actress Kristen Stewart's character struggles with her place in the real world, dealing with a job and a boss she doesn't like.
And on top of that, navigating the afterworld where she's trying to connect with her twin brother who recently died. Take a look.
So we made this oath. Whoever died first would send the other a sign.
A sign? From the afterlife?
You could call it that. You could call it a million things.
But how do you know if it's a sign?
I'm a medium. He was a medium. I'll just know it.
Kristen Stewart, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, man.
We're going to talk about Personal Shopper in just a minute because it is an extraordinary film, but we got to talk about the haircut. It's what everybody's thinking right now.
What do you mean?
Tell me about the look. This was yesterday you got this haircut?
Yeah, yesterday. I'm doing a movie in a couple weeks called Underwater, and I play a mechanical engineer that's working an oil rig that's on the bottom of the ocean floor. I mean, I'm not going to be able to have touch-ups once I put the helmet on. I must shave my head.
Wait, so they didn't ask? You volunteered?
I've been wanting to do this for a long time, just for novel's sake, just because at some point in your life you want to be able to do that. And the director suggested it, and I was like, whoa, who told you? I was like, that's a great idea. You know, you should take credit for that one, and I am game.
Not a hard sell.
Yeah.
Well, you wear it well.
Does it live up to your expectations? Feels good?
Oh my God, it feels amazing. No, like I just want to headbang all day. Yeah.
Roll out of bed, you're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this movie because I watched it last night. It is so good. Your performance is incredible, and
Thank
it's
you.
a very, I don't know if solitary is the right word, but kind of a lonely performance. It's an American in Paris story. You're working as a personal shopper for someone you don't have much interaction with. How do you describe the character?
Yeah, she's utterly isolated. She's a foreigner in every sense of the word. She's living in Paris. She's an American, but she's also in the midst of the most devastating grief and loss. She's lost her twin brother and therefore feels like a fractured sort of half of a person. She can't interact with the normal default setting that everyone exists in because she doesn't really understand what existence is. Therefore, she can't exist until she sort of rebuilds herself after that devastating loss.
It must have been an incredibly challenging role to inhabit, and I know you did it right after you did Cafe Society.
Yeah.
And that film, you were kind of this like full of life character. Was it like a little bit of whiplash in terms of going from one to the next?
Yeah, absolutely. I had 3 days in between to go from that character to the next, and yeah, there was no way to prepare for that part because she is a bit of a newborn. Like there's no individuality that defines her. She's just sort of shell-shocked and in the midst of an existential crisis that like also includes the question of the afterlife and whether or not we are alone at the end of the day or if there is some sort of connection that we have that you could call spirituality.
It's a thriller, a kind of a ghost story. Are you a believer in ghosts yourself? Were you into the material?
Yeah, the movie is scary, but I think it's scary because it's lofty and kind of heady and you know, the ghostly aspects are confronting in a really sort of like realistic way, not in a way that's like, ooh, what dead person is coming to talk to me?
Yeah, no exactly. Casper. No Casper the friendly ghost.
No.
Yeah.
But that's scarier, is sort of to like lay your head down and go, okay, I'm never going to know anything. We don't know why we're here. Some people just are debilitated by that notion, and then most of us go like, yeah, that's something to think about. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we have to sort of carry on and live life, and this girl's just like...
She's in her head.
Yeah, yeah.
I said to you when we were talking earlier, it almost felt to me like an updated Hitchcock movie, and you said that's appropriate because the director is a huge Hitchcock fan.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, he's He's been a film writer and a critic for years and years and years, and then a writer and a director for many years after that. And Hitchcock is one of his boys. He's fairly obsessed.
Okay, talking about flexing a different muscle, though, you got to host SNL.
Yeah.
And how was that? And were you nervous?
Oh my God! All week I was like, why have I done this to myself? And then in the last hour, which is the live show, the process just catches you. It's like the most ultimate trust fall, and it was the most fun I've ever had in a really long time.
You were great on SNL, and you were extraordinary in this movie. Kristen Stewart, great to see you.
Thank you.
Personal Shopper hits theaters tomorrow.